This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
If you ever needed the Lord before, you must
Sure do need him now, sure do need him now, sure do need him now. Ever needed the Lord before, sure do need him now. Need him every day and every hour. If you ever needed the Lord before, sure do need him now. Need him every day and every hour.
Indianapolis, Indiana, a city at the crossroads of America. With a rich sporting culture, Indianapolis boasts auto racing and spectacular professional football, basketball, and baseball. But behind today's teams hides a rich history of African American contributions to our national pastime. However, the story of Circle City connections to black baseball has been mostly forgotten, obscured through years of societal changes and cultural shifts. Major League Baseball began in northeastern Indiana in 1871, with the Fort Wayne Kikiongas winning the first National Association game against the Cleveland Forest Cities. In 1887, white team owners established the Gentlemen's Agreement, barring African Americans from organized professional ball.
The Gentlemen's Agreement was an unofficial pact among Major League Baseball owners that excluded African Americans from our national pastime. The Negro Leagues were created from the bias of Major League Baseball. They were a product of racial discrimination.
Indiana's nickname as the Crossroads of America can be traced to its historic roots in the railroad industry. On September the 20th in 1853, the city welcomed the country's first Union Station. With the completion of a larger depot at the turn of the century, more than 200 trains pass through the city every day. Often the passenger cars contain baseball teams traveling through America's heartland. In 1900, Indianapolis had almost 16,000 black residents, comprising nearly 10% of the total population. Along with religion, culture, and family, baseball helped create a close-knit African American community and an atmosphere of freedom.
It was a complete environment, a complete community, and complete pride. Pride that they could never feel in many other ways in their life.
During the day, children played in sand lots with anything they could get their hands on: sticks, rocks, broomsticks, and if they were lucky, a real baseball.
You didn't even have a glove, you know. You had an old raggedy glove, or you made it out of canvas or something like that.
We play with a broom handle and a tennis ball, or either take a sock and make a ball. But we played ball.
Excluded from Major League Baseball, African Americans began forming their own teams across the country. The Midwest boasted several strong semi-professional clubs. One of Indiana's first well-known black ball players was Spiceland native John Big Boy Murata. In 1895, he was the only African American playing for the Spiceland Academy. A spectacular catcher and a powerful hitter, Murata later starred on earlier professional black teams, including the Indianapolis ABCs. While there is no definite explanation of how the ABCs came about, one idea is they began as a company team to advertise the American Brewing Company. In 1897, Joseph C. Schaff founded the American Brewing Company in Indianapolis. The American Brewing Company used the team to promote their product. Saloon keeper Rand Butler purchased the team with two co-managers, Adams and Canoia. In his obituary, Butler explained that the team was named after their last initials. The ABCs were one of Indiana's finest company teams. From 1914 to 1918, the ABCs dominated black teams throughout the Midwest. In 1916, they claimed the colored championship from Rube Foster's Chicago American Giants. During the late 1800s, fresh mineral springs attracted tourists to Orange County in southern Indiana. And by the early 1900s, the area developed two world-class resorts at French Lake and West Baden. Black waiters and hotel staff formed baseball teams to entertain wealthy white guests. The French Lake Plutos and West Baden Sprudels played almost every day and developed strong reputations. Some major league teams also passed through West Baden. In 1911, the Sprudels beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 2-1.
They'd often use the term, these are semi-pro players. But when people got to see them, they saw them play, they knew. I mean, you couldn't hide it. You couldn't hide the fact that this is a great player who should be playing in the major leagues. You couldn't hide that fact.
Their astute manager, C.I. Teller, drove the Sprudels' success. C.I. Teller made a name for himself in the South. In 1910, he moved to Indiana to manage the West Baden Sprudels. In 1914, Taylor merged his Sprudels with the Indianapolis ABCs, establishing one of the best black teams in the country. C.I. Teller was a disciplined man. Off the field, he refused to drink, smoke, or gamble. On the field, he demanded everyone's best effort and constant hustle.
Kansas City and Chicago received most of the credit for starting the Negro Leagues. However, Indianapolis played a great role in that. Dave Wyatt, a sports writer for the Indianapolis Freeman and the Chicago Defender, used his columns in 1919 and 1920 to promote the formation of the league. And he worked with Indianapolis ABC's manager C.I. Taylor to develop very specific guidelines for what the league should become. Then Taylor and Wyatt pitched that idea to Rube Foster of the Chicago American Giants.
Owners, managers, and leading black sports writers met at Kansas City Paseo YMCA to draft and sign the league constitution.
They tried to start a league, and for a variety of reasons, the leagues did not materialize. So in 1920, with the start of the Negro National League, that was the first year that black teams were able to survive a full season. The first Negro National League game was played on May the 2nd in 1920 at Washington Park in Indianapolis, Indiana, between C.I. Taylor's Indianapolis ABCs and Joe Green's Chicago Giants. C.I. Taylor was on the forefront to make that historic day.
Two future Hall of Famers appeared for the ABCs in that first game. Ben Taylor at first base and Oscar Charleston in center field.
Oscar Charleston was one of the greatest Negro League players of all time. He was born in Indianapolis in 1896 and spent much of his playing and managing career in the city. In 1915, when he was 18 years old, he signed with the Indianapolis ABCs. He signed as a pitcher, but was soon converted to a center fielder. Charleston left Indianapolis in 1924 and went to Pennsylvania and played for many teams there. The Pittsburgh Crawfords lost their field in 1938 and the team moved around. In 1940, the Crawfords came to Indianapolis and Charleston was still their manager, so they were at that point playing some of their home games at what we now call Busch Stadium. At the very end of his career in 1954, Charleston returned to Indianapolis one more time to manage the Indianapolis Clowns. And that season, he led the team to win the Negro American League pennant.
Indiana Avenue, thriving with stores, restaurants, barbershops, nightclubs, and theaters, where people of color could celebrate their own heritage. The gem of Indiana Avenue is the Madam C.J. Walker Theater, named after the businesswoman who became the country's first black millionaire. Through the rest of the 20s and 30s, Indianapolis fought to maintain its professional black baseball.
The team began losing players to the Eastern Colored League. Between the loss of players, financial struggles, and social problems in Indianapolis, black baseball really dissolved. The most serious of the social problems was, of course, the rise of the Ku Klux Klan in the mid-1920s. Klan supporters dominated local politics and state politics.
The effects of the Great Depression crippled the entire country, including many Negro League teams. World War II further decimated the talent pool.
A date which will live in infamy.
And here we are fighting Nazism abroad and racism at home. So it really pushes the question, where is the war really happening? They are welcome as heroes, but not welcome as Negroes.
Many feared this would be the end of black baseball in Indiana. Instead, it brought another beginning. With advances in America's greatest game, Indianapolis was about to experience a whole new playing field. Indians owner Norman Perry began construction on a new facility. Perry Stadium opened up to the public on September the 5th, 1931, hosting its first Indians game. Sports writers hailed the ballpark as one of the greatest in the nation. Perry Stadium also served as an occasional home field for the Negro League teams, including the Indianapolis ABCs, Athletics, Crawfords, and finally, the Clowns. After the ABCs faded into history, the Ethiopian Clowns of Cincinnati relocated to Indianapolis in the mid-1940s. At the same time, the organized white leagues were preparing for integration.
The gatekeepers of Major League Baseball thought that they would lose their fan base if they integrated, and they turned out to be wrong. Racism has entertainment value, and we see that the first year when Jackie Robinson joins the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1947.
After Jackie Robinson broke Major League Baseball's color line with the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1947, the Negro League experienced further trouble, with major and minor league teams signing the best black talent. African American fans drifted away and followed their heroes in the majors. Attempting to retain fans, Indianapolis Clowns resorted to innovative marketing stunts, similar to the Harlem Globetrotters. Notorious for their hilarious pregame antics, the Clowns included players such as gangling King Tut with his oversized glove, midget catcher Spec Bebop, and lanky first baseman Goose Tatum.
The Clowns were very popular, and one of the more popular players was Goose Tatum, first baseman, who was simply an enormous man with a wingspan of a pterodactyl, as it were. Great for first base. The joke was that the infielders would tell each other that just pick up the ball and throw it anywhere you like because Tatum would be able to stretch for it.
He's one of those guys believing in entertaining people. He had a group of guys dressed up with grass skirts and wigs on the hair and bones in the nose and all that stuff out there dancing while the game is going on.
They played good ball. They clown. The clown, they had clown. That was King Tut in the little old midget called Bop. That was the clown. The rest of them played ball.
Baseball being a entertainment, sometimes before the games, the players would put on a skit called Shadow Ball, where they move this ball around the infield so fast that no one could see it.
But Shadow Ball is exactly what it was. The baseball didn't exist, but the ball players were all in their positions for what would normally be infield practice.
And the fans would try to keep up with this ball, not realizing that there was no ball present. And that's why they call it Shadow Ball.
It always ended with the ball being hit to the outfield and nobody in the outfield at all. And then from out of nowhere would come a ball player who would run and make the most fantastic catch you've ever seen, and then throw a real ball into home plate. I was able to do that once, in Virginia.
We faced so much segregation till, oh man, we thought we was mud. We had to run out of town, man.
There's a lot of things the blacks couldn't do, so you couldn't go here, you couldn't go there, so you didn't worry about it.
We had towns that we had to get out of town. We couldn't change clothes in that town. We had to change on the bus.
They don't want you in the dressing room and don't want you on the field.
Like, we recall names and things, but you play over that. I mean, names, sticks and stones can break your bones, but words can never hurt you.
He told me, said, Sam said, ain't but one thing fault we can find of you. So I said, well, what is it? Tell me, maybe I can correct it. He said, no, I don't think you'll be able to correct that. So I said, well, just tell me, maybe I can. The old man said, boy, so he's talking about your color. I said, He said, well, no, I guess I can't do nothing about that.
In 1952, the Clowns signed 17-year-old slugger Hank Aaron, who drew attention from several major league teams, including the Boston Braves. Aaron went on to hit 755 home runs, crushing Babe Ruth's former record of 714. In 1953, the Clowns made baseball history by signing Toni Stone, the first woman to play in the Negro leagues.
Yes, she was the first lady to come into our league. And I was playing ball at the time in Canada, and they informed me that not to throw at her head when I come to pitch because I was known for bean balls, see. And so when she stepped in, I said, okay, I won't throw at her. And the first pitch I threw was between her cap and her head. And she hit the ground and got up and brushed herself off and stepped back in and hit the next pitch down the third baseline.
She was a pretty good ball player. Yeah, she was a pretty good ball player.
The next season, two other women joined the Clowns, second baseman Connie Morgan and pitcher Mamie Peanut Johnson.
Connie was a second baseman, and she was good. Mamie was a pretty fair pitcher. And I used to get a kick out of it, whenever I'd go out to talk with her at the mound, and you know how you hit them behind? That's what I'd do behind the bar, the whole crowd would holler. I'd go out there and talk with her, and we'd get to talking, I'd hit her behind. Boy, everybody would get a kick out of this. It was mostly just a drawing attraction. They wasn't that promising or they good. You had to play like they was women even on the field. You always had to try to make it light on them. Just a whole lot of time we'd make her look good. Yeah, we'd go up there swinging and striking out and going on.
Barnstorming teams dealt with difficult travel conditions while on the road.
Every bed we slept in broke down. You won't believe that. You always stayed at the worst hotels. Even time we stayed at people's houses. I left Indianapolis Clown because they had to share everything. When you get ready to go to bed, you had to go to bed with a man. And you'd be surprised if some nights they'd get to dreaming and think I was the wife. They'd go to try to hug and you'd have to, you know what you'd be calling them. Get your hands, get off me, get out, turn me loose. That's the reason I left there.
With long trips, players had to create their own entertainment.
Well, they had a thing they called light on the right, light on the left. If some women's driving alongside the bus, you know, most women, the dress come up and they say light to everybody lean to the right. And they catch, you know, they're trying to catch them with the dress up.
Bat boy Cliff Robertson and pitcher Dirk Gibbons shared their memories of traveling with the Indianapolis Clowns.
We played in Pittsburgh, and I don't remember the team we played, but we played in Pittsburgh and we stayed overnight. Well, at the ballpark were some young ladies.
And here's two pretty young girls, man. We both admire. I threw a wild pitch one time by looking at them over there. And so we got a chance to tell them to wait. You know, we whispered, wait for her. We was gonna walk them to the bus stop. And they said, when the bus came, they got on the bus and said, come on, this bus gonna go so far and turn around and come back and take you back where you was, you know.
We went to Braddock to talk with these young ladies, which we did. When we got back to the hotel in Pittsburgh, we had missed the team bus.
Man, we got back there, man. The bus was going. I'm crying, Cliff crying. We trying to hold each other up. You know.
The bus was gone, playing Wilmington, Delaware. And so we took the commercial bus, you know, to Wilmington. We got there. I got chewed out royally. He got fined.
When we got back, man, we caught pure hell, man. And the youngest thing on the team, man. So they'd have left us, man. I guess it would have been something bad happening. But it was nice. We enjoyed it.
There are so many youngsters today that have no concept of what took place with the Negro Leagues, and that it was actually a forerunner for many of the ball players who were able to move into Major League Baseball.
It's important to study the history of black baseball. It's important to learn the struggles that they went through. I mean, this is not a test. If there's no struggle, there's no progress. And so we learn from their hiccups along that road. We learn about the speed bumps that they had to go over to reach their destination to achieve total integration in our society.
Indiana's rich history with black baseball continues to fade with every passing player, but the sites of America's most iconic pastime still remain. For many, baseball has shifted identities, creating a new game with old spirits.
People ask you, what was your greatest moment? Being able to be there, play, you know. All of them's a great moment. And that's worth more than anything in the world, to me.
There's still a great urge to go to the ballpark. And part of that is just the socialization, part of it is the peanut, the popcorn, the Cracker Jacks, and the hot dogs. You can't leave those out. There's nothing like the smell of hot dogs at a ballpark.